John Oaks here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location today. And today we are going over another addition to our inventory. This is a very nice 68 Chevrolet Camaro. And as you can see, it has all of the SS badging the whole way around the car. So we're going to call this an SS style 1968 Camaro. So as you can see, ours beautiful teal exterior color on this car. Nice black stripes up over the hood and on the rear deck lid. As I mentioned, as you can see on our front grille, we have the SS badging right in the center. Nice chrome bumpers, both the front and the rear of the vehicle. And again, all the SS badges. So you've got the grille, you've got the fender, and you've got the gas cap on the back, which we'll go over here in just a minute. 350 emblems on the front fender. That does tell you what is underneath the hood on this car. Again, we'll get to more of the specifics once we get under the hood. But as you can see, all the bright work on this car, very, very nice. You've got the bright wheel lip moldings, bright rocker moldings along the bottom there, and then of course you've got your drip rail moldings, all of which are very nice and straight. There's no dents or dings in any of it, and everything's polished up really well. Of course, we have the chrome mirrors on both sides as well, so you got both your driver and passenger side. Door handles are really, really nice too. Sometimes you'll see some pitting in the chrome on these, but in these you do not. They look great. Glass, as you can see here, both your quarter window and your door glass, those are in great shape too. There's no chips or cracks or scratches in any of those that we can see, so they look really good. And you'll notice the gaps on your doors, your front gap, your rear gap, very uniform front to back. And then also, as I look down the side of the car, our elevations are set really, really nice on this. All of our body lines and everything are lining up. Door along the edge here lines up really nice, so there's no drop there. Now we are going to go ahead and open up our door, and we'll take a peek inside at the interior. We've got full black vinyl interior. You've got the factory dash, the bucket seats, seat belts front and rear. You've got the factory 120 speedo in there, along with the fuel gauge. You do have a couple extra gauges, a column mount tack. You've got an extra water temperature, voltmeter, and oil pressure gauge, all of which are auto gauges. And then you also have custom Autosound AM/FM radio in there too, so you can listen to your music and or whatever else you listen to. Factory 4-speed center console, factory heater controls, aftermarket steering wheel. And you can see the door shuts nice and easy. All of our weather stripping too up along the top edge here, and our seals along those windows, those are all in great shape. Again, as we come back along the quarter panel, the body is nice and straight on this car. Our trunk lid here, the gaps the whole way around, all look good. As you'll see here, we've got the rear trunk spoiler also. Rear glass, you can see it's tinted. All of your bright work around the window, your trim and moldings there, those are all in great shape. Again, nice and straight and polished up well. I mentioned that chrome rear bumper. The taillight bezels, look how nice those are. Where the black is, sometimes you'll get some pitting in there and the paint wearing off. These are in great shape. The lenses on all four, there's no cracks or chips in any of that. Already mentioned about that SS gas cap too. So we will go ahead and open up our trunk lid as we always do. And we'll take a look at the trunk inside. So first thing, the trunk lock works. The hinges and the spring all work too. As you can see, it's holding that trunk lid up. Our weather stripping the whole way around. There's no cracks or tears in any of it, and it's all soft, so it's going to seal up very nice. Got a full-size spare tire back here in the trunk, and the trunk itself, the floor, all solid one piece. The drain plugs are all in where they should be, and done in the correct black and aqua spatter paint. So that is essentially the trunk. Underside of the lid's painted the same as the exterior of the car. So we close that, and we walk around to the passenger side now. Again, we're going to inspect the body lines on this. Everything's nice and straight up along the side of the car. Again, all of the same stuff. The bright wheel lip moldings, rocker moldings, and our drip rail moldings. Now on this car here, one thing I did not mention as of yet, but we can clearly see, wheels and tires have been upgraded on this car slightly. We've got a set of 15-inch American Racing polished aluminum Torq Thrust 2 wheels. And we have a set of BFGoodrich Radial TAs on there. We have two 3560 SR15s on the front, two 7560 SR15s on the rear. So you can see how nice those wheels and tires make this car look. As I mentioned again, the chrome on the door handles, those are in great shape. Your mirrors are in great shape too. Glass on the passenger side as well, all in good condition. We'll open this door up and we'll take a peek to the inside from the passenger side now. So again, your seat upholstery is in very nice shape. Carpeting, no rips, tears, or any fading in there either. All your door panels and so forth, those are in great shape. And the dash pad, there's no cracks in any of that. So again, real nice inside and out. Door on this side shuts nice and easy again, and you can check out the gaps on the passenger side. Again, very uniform front to back. Again, more of our emblems, the Camaro script with the SS emblem there on the front. As I walk by the front wheel, that reminds me again, on this car, they do have the power brakes. They're upgraded discs on the front. They are stainless steel Brake Corporation Force 10 calipers on there. So again, you're going to have great stopping power on this car. Now, as we get around to the front, we're going to check out our grille. The grille's painted up real nice. The black area is super nice. All of your bright work again polished up and trimmed out real nice there too. Headlights are just traditional sealed beam units, so your highs and lows are right here. Glass lenses, and the lenses are in good shape. There's no chips or cracks in any of that. Down below the front valance, we've got that black front air dam on there to kind of complete that look. Up top, steel 2-inch cowl induction hood. Painted up real nice, super straight. You can check out all the gaps along the sides there, across the front there with your header panel there. Everything is all adjusted very nice. Elevations with the front fenders, same thing. Everything's been adjusted very well. We'll go underneath the hood now, and then we'll talk about the power plant and drivetrain. So once the hood's open, you can see the underside of our cowl hood. Painted that same color as the rest of the exterior of the car, all steel, so steel bracing and everything underneath here, good strong hood. The engine compartment itself painted all black. You can see we got the chrome fender braces in here as well. Now, as far as the motor goes, this is not the original motor. It is a non-original motor. It's a 350 cubic inch motor though, and you can see working from the top down, we've got a nice set of fin air cleaner and matching fin valve covers here with matching breather and PCV valve over there too. So everything's all trimmed out real nice. Underneath the air cleaner, we've got a Holley dual feed 4-barrel carburetor. It is a 650 CFM carburetor, and it does have electric choke. Right underneath that, we've got a nice Edelbrock RPM air gap aluminum intake. And then as far as ignition system, they have upgraded slightly. We've gone to an HEI distributor with an Accel super coil and a set of Accel super stock 8mm plug wires. To further dress things up and to give a little bit of extra performance here, we've gone ahead and they've added the polished aluminum water pump with a set of aluminum pulleys. We've got the chrome alternator here, as I mentioned before, power brakes, and you've got power steering down there as well. It is a stock style radiator, but it's got a 6-blade flex fan on it with the fan shroud to help with the cooling. And then to help that exhaust breathe, we've got a set of long tube headers, dual exhaust the whole way out the back of the car, a set of dual mufflers on it. They are Flowmaster style mufflers, and then of course completing the exhaust system are the set of tailpipes on there. Now, as far as what we have in behind this motor to complete our drive lane, we have a Muncie M21 4-speed manual transmission, and we have a 10-bolt rear end, but it is the Big 10, the 8.5-inch ring gear. It is a POSI unit inside, and it's a 373 gear ratio. So that is your 68 Camaro SS style as we see it here. We've been around the outside, we've been inside the car, in the trunk, under the hood. So now the next thing we've got to do is get this on the lift, and we'll go through the underside for you next. Alright, so we are underneath our 1968 Teal Camaro SS style here. We're going to go through the underside as we always do, point out suspension, steering, driveline components, all of that stuff, and then also talk about the floors on this car. So, starting up front with the suspension, we have all factory suspension here. It does have the sway bar up front here, and the sway bar bushings at the frame and the sway bar end links. Those are all in good shape. Again, factory stuff, so your lower control arms, upper A arms, that's all your stamped steel components. Tie rods, these are all factory stock. They're in great shape though. All the little rubber dust boots on all 4 of those are all intact. They're not split or cracked, so it's going to keep the grease in, keep any dirt and debris out, and you can tell everything's been maintained very well on the underside of this car. So that's your front suspension and steering. Now, braking components on the front end of this car. First off, it's power brakes along with the power steering. But the brakes, they've upgraded the front brakes to disc brakes, and they are Stainless Steel Brake Corporation name brand calipers here, and probably rotors. So again, if you're looking for replacement parts, you might need to go that route with these particular calipers. But they are the Stainless Steel Brake Corporation Force 10 calipers, so that's what you have up front. So that's going to slow the car down very, very well for you. Now, up front for our drive line, and we'll just kind of work our way back here, we have a non-original motor. This is a 350 cubic inch small block Chevrolet engine. We have behind that, it's a Muncie M21 4-speed manual transmission. You see the bell housing here painted the bright orange. It does have the flywheel cover on it too, so that's going to keep that flywheel protected. Obviously, you can see the exhaust here, dual exhaust coming from our long tube headers here all the way back to our Flowmaster style muffler, and then we have the set of tailpipes up over top of the rear end, and then those exit right between the leaf springs and the quarter panels on the back, as they should. As far as any kind of frame components here, we do have our transmission cross member here. It's nice and straight across the bottom here, and then the actual mount for the transmission is in great shape. It looks to be in good condition there. As far as the transmission and oil pan, everything looks dry, even the rear seal here on the transmission. Of course, we have our drive shaft. That is a balanced unit. It's going to help eliminate any kind of vibrations we might have in our drivetrain. And then we have a GM 10-bolt rear. Now this is the big 10, so it's the 8.5-inch ring gear. We do have a set of 373 gears in this, and it is a POSI unit. So again, real good, strong unit for underneath this car. Of course, you can see you've got your front subframe, nice and straight, good and square. We also have the subframe connectors, and those are, let me just take a look, looks like those are all bolted in and welded, so bolted and welded, so best of both worlds there, going to make everything nice and strong. As far as rear suspension, multi-leaf rear suspension, just a normal set of shocks on the back end, and then of course you can see they've added in these traction bars back here too to prevent any kind of wheel hop that you might have. The fuel tank, stock fuel tank, looks to be in good shape, just painted up silver underneath here. All of your hangers and hardware and so forth, those are all in great shape too, and there's no dents or dings in that. Trunk floor itself, from what we can see, because again your fuel tank takes up a lot of that underneath here, from what I can see, no patching, good and solid trunk floor, and our floors on this car are in really good shape. I don't see any patching, no holes obviously on this car. You can see all the correct stamping lines on all of our floor pans here, so again that is all in really nice shape. Of course, you've got your fuel line run along here the whole way back to the rear. Brake lines are run along the opposite side. And then the e-brake is all hooked up too on this car. So again, you've got all the correct cables, frame hooks and so forth, all the way back to those rear drum brakes. The only other thing we have to mention now, wheels and tires now. As far as that goes, they have been upgraded on this car slightly. We've got a set of 15-inch American Racing polished aluminum Torq Thrust 2 wheels. Again, they are brand new. And then we have a set of BFGoodrich Radial TAs. There are two 3560 SR15s on the front, two 7560 SR15s on the rear, and the tread on all 4 of them look to be in really good condition. That is it for underneath our car here. We're going to get it down off the lift, and as always, pop the hood on this thing, get that motor fired up. That way you get to see and hear it run.